Hello, and we are live for today's Krav Maga self-defense for all and the science behind not joining the Walking Dead. And if you stay until the end of our show today, I'll give you 3 routines that will allow you that will ensure that you definitely don't join the Walking Dead. My name is Gonçalo Steves. I'm the head instructor of Krav Maga self-defense for all. Right back in here, I got 16 years of martial arts competition under karate, and then at least 30 more years of Krav Maga, teaching people all over the world. I'm also an engineer, an industrial engineer, and during the last years I've been training to become an astronaut. And I also train others to do that. So vast experience on science and people and making sure that we do our best job in the world, that is learning how to defend yourself back in here or in your homes. So stay with me. I'll prove to you the research out there and why you don't want to join the Walking Dead. If you have any questions during today's show, during today's conversation, pretty straightforward. Reach out and let's have a chat. All comments are open, and yes, I'll put the research out there. I'll show you the protocols, and I'll exactly tell you what to do so that you have a longer and better life. Oh, great! I see a set of people that currently always joins us. It's pretty good to see everyone here. So I want to get started with this. With why is this so important, and why is it important not to join the Walking Dead? So the core idea is this: walking improves overall general health and recovery. That's known. You know, like Mark Twain used to walk, used to do a lot of things, but it rarely trains the heart, the brain, and the nervous system at the levels that are the levels required under real stress. Short bursts of vigorous effort create stronger adaptation signals. This is why brief, intense Krav Maga drills are so effective. And what I mean by being so effective, until, I would say, last year, until this study came out, everyone kind of knew this, right? People that are, you would see athletes, and if you look into the folks from that sprint, you see like they are, physical, they've got big muscles, but why does that matter? First of all, it's well known that muscle equals health. Not only physical health, but also brain health. I think that's important that we understand that overall. So the idea of growing older and not having muscle and being that the characteristic of being older, it's something that we need to shift away from. Stamakis and other authors have published in the Nature Medicine the 2022 article, and also later on in oncology, again under Stamakis on the oncology reports in 2023 was very clear on that. And later on, and probably I think the most the study that time, I want everyone definitely to use and to it's the one that I'll be sharing with you guys on the pod. That is in here in the podcast on the messages. That talks about this. High intensity exercises will create lactate that fuels brain cells and triggers neuroplasticity. Walking doesn't do that. Okay, that's just unfortunate that it does that. That it doesn't do that. So intensity does matter. So when you see people striking the pads over there, or doing bursts with combination of things that have to do with throws or grabs or pushes, and I'll give you the protocol right next, that triggers other parts of the body that therefore triggers the brain as well. The study was analyzed by Dr. Rhonda Patrick. The study is not from her, and I want to be clear with that, okay? But this study tracked 72,000 adults, okay? But it wasn't self-reported data, to be clear. It was data that they took from wearables, like one of these. And revealed that vigorous exercise is dramatically more efficient than, more effective than moderate activity. So I'll just give a couple of examples, okay? Diabetes prevention. 1 minute of vigorous exercise, okay, equals 9.4 minutes of moderate exercise. Isn't that crazy? Like, you get it 1 minute, the same thing that you do it 9.4. When you go to the gym, you see people like moving like this, and you're like, why am I here? That's why you see me when you go and do strength work, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so boring. But no, not if it's vigorous, okay? Now, so it's think about this, 1 minute for diabetes prevention is 10 times more effective. What does that mean in this context? Strike the back, okay? Really hard. Strike really hard. There is a rate called perceived effort that we can specify and tolerate, but you'll get it. You know what it is. You know what is something that is extremely hard, okay? You know that. It's something that you feel it and you can use it for yourself. So that's one thing. Cancer mortality, and this is like also crazy. 1 minute of vigorous exercise equals 3.5 minutes of moderate exercise. And I'm just doing the comparison to moderate exercise. If you compare it with light exercise like walking, it will be even more. Now, again, this is only 1 minute, okay? 1 minute is vigorous exercise for all-cause mortality. Pick up all the things that hurt you, like heart disease and cancer, all of these things. Combine them all in a bucket, and it will be the same. So 1 minute equals 4 minutes of moderate exercise. Examples. Here are interesting things. And there is this concept that Dr. Rhonda Patrick came back, and it's really cool. And I'm going to borrow it for Krav Maga. 3 daily bursts, 1 to 2 minutes each. So 3 times. Wake up in the morning, do 3 daily bursts of 1 to 2 minutes each. We'll have like 40 to 50% mortality reduction. What about that? So I want to give you the science behind this and also the protocols as we move along, but high intensity exercise triggers cascading biological benefits, okay, that moderate and low intensity exercise cannot match. It's not possible, okay? When you train at the 80% maximum of your heart rate, your body switches from fat burning to glucose burning. Super important. And it creates lactate. Like this thing like, oh, don't create lactate. No, man. It's not true that you create lactate. Lactate serves as brain fuel and it triggers cellular repair mechanisms, including mitochondrial biogenesis, increased BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic, and angiogenesis, new blood vessel formation. In fact, lactate is acidic. So the body is like, oh my goodness, lactate is coming. We need to do it. Got it? We need to repair. Look at that. And then when you walk, nothing like that happens. It's weird, right? Okay, so I'll give you a good example from Krav Maga and how we integrate Krav Maga and exercise science. In the warm-ups, make dynamic warm-ups. When you throw your hands and your arms and that, and light combos. Don't just do like physical, do light combos. Do a jab, a cross, go into a sprawl, start imagining a choke defense. That will definitely help. Then, okay, next thing, super important. High intensity bursts. And this is very common in Krav Maga because of the RETSEV. Okay? RETSEV is a way to think about go forward and go fast, go strong and go aggressively. Okay? Bag work, combinations, all of this will happen. What is the science benefit from this? Lactic production and BDNF. We talked about that, brain-derived neurotrophic. We did a movement yesterday on the bag that was after you strike, you step out of the way, you clinch again and you push, right? So more combinations over there. Ground movement, example, survival positions and the Krav Maga skill is, okay, how am I going to survive on the ground? Let's think about being someone is trying to strike from the front, okay? And you hips up, himself, push him away. Do that with strength and explosive, being explosive, yes. Full body activity and agility. That's a science benefit. Situation awareness. Imagine you get out of the drill and sometimes you see people walking around. Think about where's the door, okay? Scanning and direction changes in your footwork. What's the benefit? It increases your cognitive function and allows you to think about, okay, I'm going to use this under stress. If you practice in here under that stress. And then, of course, recovery periods. And in these ones, what you do is you move from whatever you were, like imagine 60 to 70%, 80 of your heart rate, and when you come down, don't completely stop. We like to think about shaking the hands and the body, but I would say shaking and move. Put those small technical refinements over there, okay, as you inhale and you continue to acquire technique. Okay, so why is this important for self-defense? Here's the thing. Real confrontations, I would say, usually would spike your heart rate up to 175. And that means that it could be a physical altercation or when you get just really annoyed with someone. You go like, whoa, all the way up. I prefer that to think about from the physical side, okay? If you only train at a walking pace, you are not prepared for this. It's a physiological reality. Physiological, like the body, what's being produced between the systems that change. So high intensity training with self-defense skill provides a set of, I'm going to say 5 things, okay? I'll read it down for you. Nervous system adaptation to elevated heart rates. I see a lot of people saying, I need to work my cardio because their technique fails under some pressure. Maintain motor function and decision making under stress. And then on that chapter as well, improve decision making when adrenaline spikes. Oh my goodness, I'm tired. My leg is not on the same spot. I need to get up. I need to be able to strike. I need to be able to grab. So high intensity training trains you for that. In ACE, recovery between high stress events. And that's something that we practice. Imagine someone pushing you, someone grabbing, and then after that, you need to push and pull. Super important to make those changes between scenarios. Better brain function, ready for situational awareness. You've gone through that, through multiple scenarios in here. I would say that the moment you look into this, there is an efficiency revolution. Traditional fitness requires, 150 to 300 minutes of moderate exercise weekly. The research now shows something different, okay? It's 75 to 150 of vigorous exercise provides superior benefits. It's just superior. It's less and it's superior, but you need to change the way that you practice. That's why I'm saying to you, don't join the Walking Dead. Don't join it, okay? Don't do that. Train every day. Some days are short, some days are intense, other days aren't. But follow that. Our 25-minute sessions delivered the last day, the equivalent to a health benefit of 2.5 hours walking. Isn't that crazy? With 25 minutes you do 2.5 hours. Practical self-defense skills. We work the jab, the cross, the elbows, the knee. And obviously immediate cognitive benefit just from the BDNF increase. You will know that, oh, okay, I hit in that direction. If you had done it with a partner, you would push back to you. But you start getting that BDNF increase, brain-derived neurotropic. The mitochondrial adaptation also gets triggered. And there is obviously the stress inoculation coming from that scenario. Yes, there's a psychological effect that is, you need to think, okay, I need to do this because I need to work on this, it's important. Okay, so I told you that I would give you something, and I'm here to give. That's the whole point. The whole point of doing these type of things is that you receive protocols that you can implement in your training. Does that sound good? So here it is. Let me play it back one by one, okay? Let me play it back one by one. I prepared 3 protocols that I believe are best in class. Okay, So exercise snacks, we talked about this, right? 1 to 2 minutes, 3 times daily. Sprint up the stairs instead of walking, okay? That should work. Do burpees during your work breaks. You don't like burpees? Okay, that's right. Or high intensity shadow boxing between tasks. Get up, and go. 1, 2, bam, with the leg. Cannot kick, place the knee, place the elbow. Go fast from here. Do these 1 or 2 minutes of these breaks, and you start having these 3 times a day. You don't need much. Get out of the chair and do the work, okay? Okay, other ideas. What's called the Norwegian 4x4 protocol. This is very intense. It's very hard, but at the same time, it's amazing. 4 minutes at 80 to 90% of your heart rate. 3 minutes of recovery, repeat 4 times. What is this perfect for? Krav Maga combinations, okay? Choose a combo, choose a set of techniques. I would say practice on the bag or find a partner that can help you and do this. You can integrate striking with grappling, with ground, or just choose one of these domains. But remember, you need to go 4 minutes almost all in. And then you've got these 3 minutes of recovery. You do it 4 times, and that will give you a ton of benefits. Think about doing this on a Monday, then do it on, if you break free between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then later on Friday. Example, we did it 2 weeks ago, and it's tremendous in terms of the way that I see everyone working out. And of course, Tabata integration. Tabata is a protocol. I'll give you an idea. 20 seconds of maximum effort, 10 seconds rest, 8 rounds. 8 rounds, it's hard, but it's short and fast. And again, if you don't do the Norwegian protocol, do the Tabata, or if you have to do, I would do it in different days, okay? So today's challenge is replace one of your moderate exercise sessions this week with the 15 to 20 minutes of high intensity intervals. Track how you're feeling it, mentally and physically, to compare these with longer sessions and even lighter sessions. Also important when you do this, I would say if you're a shift worker, I would avoid anything that would have, that would do something like this. And I'll give you an idea. Because we have people that work in shifts. So if you do a lot of this, where you rely on your legs, I'm concerned that you might get an injury. So use hands, use overall upper body, if that's the case, okay? Or go and sit down on the ground, do a set of sit-ups, striking the bag, or work from here, like if you were in a wrestling situation, work a throw, for example, from here, okay? Those are all examples that you can implement using short-term, high-intensity protocols. Okay. Any questions? I know the research it's extreme, but we just got better results in 25 minutes than 2.5 hours of walking. And you learn skills that can save your life. This is what training evolution looks like. It's a combination of science, science-backed intensity, science-backed protocols with real-world applications, in this case, Krav Maga. Now, what do you need to do next? Okay, cool. So first of all, if you want to have the protocols and the document that I'm reading to you guys right here, DM Intensity. That's INTENSITY, okay? We do have live training sessions in here, of course. And of course you can always follow us on a daily basis. We start broadcasting in here at 1:15 in a daily basis. And if you do want more, come into our studio, okay? It's the best way is always to explain in person. Over the years, there's been a lot of talk that we cannot learn martial arts over the web. I completely disagree with that. You do need a partner, you do need feedback, and you need to know what to do. If you have these things together, and proper feedback, of course, then I believe that you'll become a great self-defense practitioner. Okay, I want to give you like 3 minutes so that we can go into Q&A, because there's always some very interesting questions coming from the audience. Okay, cool. Okay, that one is interesting. Okay, I'll go there. Okay, so the question in here is, what do I do if I don't know how to throw a punch? Look, guys, we have extensive resources in our YouTube channel on how to execute a jab with the palm so that you don't overextend and you don't get hurt. Use them, okay? Use them. Learn how to throw a jab with your palm, with the palm strike, under certain conditions where you don't overextend your joint, but this will be helpful. Okay, what if I don't believe in Krav Maga? Okay, so you don't need to believe in Krav Maga. You don't need to believe in any martial art at all. The question in here is, when you throw a punch at the surface, when you extend your arm, or when you grab an arm, or when you exert some kind of force, things will happen. You don't need to believe in science, but science is real. Same thing applies whenever you are training. But super important, always be safe while you're training. So I hope you guys found this this edition interesting. I look forward to seeing you at classes or answering more of your questions. To all of you, enjoy your day, and remember, train every day.